This is Syrone Campbell. This is 9 Minutes with Syrone Campbell, segment 4. Our next hurdle is whose God are we talking about? Which implies there was a divergence to different paths from the original universal concept. To hurdle this, hold on to the original concept in your hand and examine theistically. So we derive from theistic postulates an explanatory model of how the concept, is satisfied, and follow its consequences to see how well they agree with what the expectations are. How to know God exists is not going to be a universal revelation that all the world will become aware of all at once. Not yet, at least. God is revealed on a one-on-one basis. Why? It is because God allows for a one-on-one relationship with Him. If man experiences God, as is reported in the pre-Christ era, it must be understood within the capacity of human biology as one of the controlling mechanisms, which means human cultural norms would influence the reception of this phenomenon. Many centuries later, when cultural norms and society changes, cultural norms would be different, thus bending the concept and understanding of what happened. This is avoided in man, for now, by the one-on-one relationship that God has provided. It also avoids the divergence of paths, which accounts for the different religions. This leaves the one-on-one relationship, which tells us that when we refer to God, it is your God that we are talking about. Psychological considerations for this behavior. It is disappointing indeed for those that mock and cast slur upon the sincere, who have experienced God. They themselves would be disappointed to learn that psychology is offering formal support for the human spiritual experience, specifically the God type. Activating the God relationship is reestablishing a previously set mode. After all, after the fall from grace, early man was not sophisticated. Eat and survive dominated thought and existence. The thinking and psychological transformations needed to propel mankind forward. That reactivation would require a secure access mode, safe from biological discard due to lack of use. It would be safe deep in the psyche of the mind and embedded in the DNA, perhaps, for no other reason than the fact that belief itself has had to evolve along with our mind and thought processes. We must not fail to acknowledge the weak side of belief. To put a handle on this idea, I will quote from F. H. Lund's article in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology and Social Psychology, Volume 20, Issue Number 1, April 1925, pages 63 through 81. And I quote, "Prior to the new insights concerning personal epistemology, etc., we always felt and knew that belief was psychological and was known to have content, fixed associated content, no matter the subject. It was a hope, a fear, and if a long time firmly held belief, it had content, approval, and justification. Belief has a large emotional content. On the basis of the results of the rating of a series of propositions on a belief scale by college students, the correlation obtained between belief and desire was 0.88, or 88%. This confirms, in some respects, the theories of the psychoanalytic school and the dynamic psychologists, and the evidence for an emotional and instinctive basis for motivation and for belief. It was also found that there is a marked tendency to idolize the rational principle and to conceive of it as the most valid and important part of the belief determinants, even though the fact that the non-rational factors appear to outweigh it in conditioning our belief attitudes. So if you need confidence, belief in God is rational and is a psychologically stable position in life. End quote. It was, throughout history, more or less commonplace to hear God talk. No embarrassment, and certainly not taboo. Not today. Not in today's world. Think about this for our next talk. That's it for now, and again, thank you so much. Please comment or reach me at Syrone Campbell, WordPress.com.